Hey folks, Storm and Norman here. How you doing today? Looks like this is not recording right. That's okay. I won't move my mouth. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my Tull story. What happened was, I saw Jethro Tull at the Hard Rock Cafe here in Las Vegas. And the big old sign said, no recording devices, no recording devices, no recording devices. I had a dictaphone. And I was right up against the stage. And all I did was turn it on and say, I can't believe the man who saved my life is standing 3 feet in front of me. He saw the red light, and he called security on me. Twice. Both times I hid the dictaphone in my pants pocket. I showed him the cassette player that I used to play some of my songs. And I said, it doesn't record. I don't know why the light is showing up. Maybe it's a spotlight from the stage. I don't know. But I was right up against the stage, and he saw the red light, and he called security twice. Then I wrote the poem about Jethro Tull, about how they saved my life in '73. And the following year, I wrote the poem about it. I said, he's coming to the Hard Rock, and he'll play the House of Blues. I'd love to meet him, shake his hand, sit down and have a beer, but I'll just be one in the crowd. I'll stand, I'll clap, I'll cheer. So I went to the Hard Rock, and I was right up against the stage, and I recorded myself saying, I can't believe the man who saved my life is standing 3 feet in front of me. And that's all I recorded. But he saw the light and called security on me. The next year, I met him in Connecticut. I flew to Connecticut to meet him because my sister lived there. She put me up for a few days. And she brought a camera, took pictures of me and him, met his wife. She was very nice to me. She came out first, and she said, everybody sit down. There were like 30 people waiting by the backstage door. She said, Ian will be out in a minute. He will not shake anyone's hand because he plays the flute. Doesn't want to rupture anything, which I understood. He said, but he will sign autographs. So I told my sister, I said, don't move. She said, well, she wants us to sit down. I said, just stay here. So his wife looks at me and she says, that's why I told everyone to sit down. And I said, I'm Storm and Norman. She said, Norman Weissman? I said, that's me. She said, you stay right there. Everyone else go sit down. So when he came out, he had a beer in one hand and a cane in the other one. I guess he hurt his foot somehow. And I showed him my songbook. I didn't tell him he saved my life. I thought he knew. So I've been emailing him at his website and not getting any response. I went online and got his home address in the UK. And I wrote a letter. Ian or Mrs. Anderson. I don't know if she's still alive. I'm assuming she is. But I wrote it to him at his home address. And I put Storm and Norman from 2000. If she reads it, she will see that Jethro Tull saved my life in '73. I thought he knew that. I put a copy of my poem that I wrote, A Minstrel from Heaven. He has an album called Minstrel in the Gallery. He has one song where he says, do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and in the present tense? Or that everybody's on the stage and you're the only person sitting in the audience? Skating away on the thin ice of a new day. Those are some of his lyrics. Some other lyrics he has is a song called "It Was a New Day Yesterday, but It's an Old Day Now." Makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Life's a long song, life's a long song, life's a long song, but the tune ends too soon for us all. Makes a lot of sense. He's got all these sayings. Talks about God. He says, I would want to be God for the money. The money and the sex. First the sex, then the money. And he says, wait a minute. I'm old and sex is hard. God is really fucking old and sex for him must be impossible. I changed my mind. I don't want to be God. I wrote him a letter at his house in the UK saying that God was not there in 73. Jethro Tull was there. Jethro Tull saved my life. Ours pronounced DOA, from a drug overdose, alcohol, and a beating. I saw a fist coming out my eye, and that's the last thing I remember. And the next thing I remember was waking up screaming, Jethro Tull on Friday. All these people gathering around me saying, he's alive, he's alive. And I'm saying, of course I'm alive. I'm going to see Jethro Tull at Shea Stadium on Friday. The nurse tells me, go back to sleep. We'll talk later. I said, okay. Went back to sleep. Woke up 3 days later screaming, Jethro Tull on Friday. You can't tell me Jethro Tull didn't save my life. My friend Sherman said I was in a coma 3 days. They didn't know if I'd wake up or not. I said, I woke up to go see Jethro Tull. That's what was on my mind. That's what got me through. Jethro Tull saved my life. And I got to meet Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, the leader of the band. Now I listen to Jethro Tull plays classical music. And I hear Aqualung, and it's not the same song. Yeah, he sings the same words, but he sings it really slow, and he's got a symphony orchestra behind him, you know, playing strings and oboes and clarinets, other flute players, and he's a classical musician. A lot of people have heard the name Jethro Tull. They don't know that. Go online, go to youtube.com/Jethro Tull and click on Jethro Tull Plays Classical Music and listen to it. It's very, very relaxing. Very relaxing. And also very upbeat too. He's got a song. I don't know if you know anything about music. A song called Boris Dancing. He wrote it about Boris Yeltsin. And he says, don't try and dance to the song because it's in 7/8 and 9/8 time. The only one who can actually dance to this is Boris Yeltsin because he's always so stoned on vodka. If you know anything about music, 7/8 and 9/8, you got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you got to keep repeating it, and he changes it, you know. So basically, if you know how to read music, you would read it and play it. And he has an orchestra playing the music to his song. And it's an upbeat tune, you know. It's called Boris Dancing. He also sings. He sings Aqualung. You would recognize the song if you've heard it on the radio. When you hear the symphony orchestra playing it, it's a totally different song. It's very slow. He sings the words very slow. Sitting on a park bench, dum, 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 dum. Eyeing little girls with bad intent. Dum 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 dum. Bum 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 bum. Snot running down his nose. Bum 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 bum. I mean, you don't hear the same song. You hear the same lyrics, but not the same song. Sitting on a park bench, dun, 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 eyeing little girls with bad intent, da 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 dun, da 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 da. Snot running down his nose, dun, da da. That's the rock and roll version. I like the mellow version. Maybe because I'm older, I don't know. But anyway, I'm flying to LA on June 1st to see him again. The man who saved my life 45 years ago. Well, how I met him, let me tell you how I met him. Or how I was introduced to Jethro Tull. I was in a 10-piece band. I was in high school. I was in a 10-piece band. I played drums. My friend Julie played trumpet. And there was a guy in the band who played flute. And he stood up on one leg. And Julie said, "Who do you think you are, Jethro Tull?" And I said to Julie, "Who's Jethro Tull?" And he said, "You don't know who Jethro Tull is?" I said, "No, I'm just kidding. I know who Jethro Tull is." So he said, "Who is he?" I said, "He plays the flute. He stands on one foot." I didn't know. After band practice that day, I went to the record store. They had vinyl at the time. I said, "I want an album by Jethro Tull." He said, "Well, I have 3, Stand Up, Benefit, and Aqualung." I said, "Well, which is the best one?" He said, "Well, they're all good, but Aqualung sells more." I said, "All right, let me have Aqualung." So I bought the album. I brought it home, put it on the stereo, listened to it twice, from cover to cover. Went back to the record store, bought Stand Up, and bought Benefit. Listened to them. Went upstate one summer. My friend had a bungalow. Listened to Tull all the way up there on 8-track. I had an 8-track cassette player in my car. My car wouldn't go in reverse. I went up to the mountains in my car, and it wouldn't go in reverse. It was a trip parking. I always had to park. I couldn't park on a hill because it would roll backwards. It was crazy. I had a car that would not go in reverse. I drove it upstate New York one time. Anyway, just reminiscing. I listened to Tull all the way up there. I like Tull and Harry Chapin. Harry Chapin, I met him too. He wrote me a letter when I left New York after I OD'd. He wrote it to my brother. My brother worked backstage at Brooklyn College. He's an actor. And he met Harry. He told him about me, and Harry wrote me a little note saying, "Dear Norman, keep on hanging in there. I've had so many ups and downs. I feel like a yo-yo. Pretty soon you'll be back kicking ass soon. Harry Chapin. P.S. Keep the change." I kept that letter with me all the time. He had a concert in Denver, and I was walking out with my girlfriend, Donna, and I saw a line. I said, "What's the line for?" I said, "Harry's signing autographs." I said, "Really? Well, let's get online." So I got online. I got up to the front. I showed him the letter he wrote me. I said, "Do you remember writing this at Brooklyn College? You saw my brother and you wrote me a letter?" And he said, "I write so many things, I don't know." And I said, "Well, I'm actually kicking ass right now selling education. I was selling encyclopedias door to door and making a lot of money. I had 17 people working for me, 14 women. We kicked ass. 286 offices worldwide. Macmillan Publishing Company. They make all the school books. They put together a student encyclopedia from scratch. Easy reading, lots of pictures. Made a fortune. Made a fortune. Went to Athens, Greece, all expenses paid for a week. But I told Harry I was selling education and I was kicking ass. And he told me to write to him at his home and he'll see what he can do. I wrote him a letter. He wrote me back a handwritten letter saying, "Dear Norman, I can't just sit down and write a song about you and your life, but don't be surprised if bits and pieces of your life come up in some of my new material." And shortly after that, he died. In a car accident, in a Volkswagen, which I had. I had a Volkswagen. A little Beetle, Super Beetle. An orange one. I lived in Denver. It was an orange Volkswagen. The Orange Crush. The Broncos. That's when they went to the Super Bowl and lost 4 times. The town was devastated. Denver, Colorado, you stop on the street. "Hey, did you see the Bronco game? You watch the Broncos?" And everything's Broncos, Broncos, Broncos. Everywhere you go in Denver is Broncos. John Elway, John Elway. He won 3 Super Bowls and then quit. Could have won 4. Nobody's ever done it. But he quit. He bought the team instead. They haven't won since. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Anyway, that was my story. That's my story. I'm gonna see Tull. I've sent him a letter to his house asking for backstage passes again. If I get them, fine. If I don't, that's fine too. I got a ticket. They got seats in the handicap seats in the first row, section A, row A. I'll be up against the stage again, seeing the man who saved my life. Once again, I can see him on YouTube. If you like classical music, go to youtube.com, Jethro Tull, listen to the classical music album. And you'll say, "That's Jethro Tull? Okay." It's very relaxing. Very relaxing. You can listen to a little light music where he talks about God. It's all mellow music with the band instead of an orchestra. But everything is perfect. Every note he plays is perfect. Everything he sings is perfect. He's sang it so many times over and over and over. I don't know. I sing my songs over and over and over. I don't get tired of them. I went to that Our Stage site and I saw the song I never thought I'd ever love again. And I said, "I don't remember that song." Then I played it. I said, "Oh yeah, I remember that one." That was Frances. This girl I had gone out with. Wrote 3 songs for her. Just Like Me, Just For Me, and I Never Thought I'd Ever Love Again. I don't remember what happened with her. And I think one day her mother said she doesn't want to see you anymore or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what happened. She was living with her mother. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I've always had girlfriends. I've always written about them. I sold encyclopedias door to door. I slept with so many women. I can't even remember half their names. 14 girls working for me. I don't think I slept with all of them. I was the boss. I was the one who made all the money. I taught them my presentation word for word. It worked for me. It worked for them. I made it funny. Made the people laugh. Every question was, if a family is accepted in the program, they would receive this, that, and the other thing. And every question I asked them was a yes answer. You think education's important in the home? Oh yeah. I think it's important to get a child learning how to use books at an early age. You know, they mock their parents. They see the parents looking in books, and they look in books. That's the whole idea behind it. The child asks lots of questions. They may not remember the answers, but they remember that the answers are in books. And they grow up with good book habits. Of course, when they get older, their eyes go bad. But that's life. I wear glasses when I have to. Otherwise, they're not really good for your eyes. They just make them worse. I saw a website, the Outback Protocol, Vision Protocol. This guy says if you drink these smoothies for 3 weeks, your vision will go back to 20/20. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to buy. I'm sure I can get it at Sprouts or Walmart. He said a lot of the stuff is at Walmart. I don't know. Chia seeds? I don't know. He also says if you want to help your vision without making the smoothies, pistachio nuts and Brazil nuts. I bought pistachio nuts, but they weren't peeled. They were just a pain in the ass to crack them open. So I ate the Brazil nuts in my smoothies and my shakes. I had protein powder shakes. And whey protein powder. And I put the Brazil nuts in. I took the Ocuvite with lutein and zeaxanthin. I don't know if it's helping or not. I was punched in the eye in '73, and they told me a piece of metal was lodged in the back of my eye, and I would have problems later on in life. Now I'm having problems. I don't want to go blind, but if I do, I do. I'll just keep getting high. Stay stoned all the time. You know, it's funny, I've been spending $30 for oil. A cartridge full of oil. And this is a cartridge. See how much is in there? It's black. Okay. I actually made this myself a long time ago. I cooked it in coconut oil. This is the secret. Okay. You get 1/8 of an ounce of wheat. That's all you need. 16-ounce jar of coconut oil. You boil some water. Coconut oil boils at a higher flame than water. Okay, you don't want the coconut oil to boil. So you boil the water, then you turn it down to simmer. You add the coconut oil, you add the wheat. The coconut oil absorbs the wheat. Now you can strain it and let it sit out. The water will evaporate. Or you can put it in the refrigerator in the bowl overnight. The next day you will see on top a white disc, which is the coconut oil. It's white and green. You take it, you just pop it right out. It pops right out of the bowl. You stick it in your food and you eat it. I make oatmeal squares and I freeze them. I put fruit, blueberries, pineapples, some organic maple syrup from Trader Joe's, some flaxseed, some crushed almonds. It thickens it, makes it thicker, because when you add the coconut oil, it stops the oatmeal from sticking, but it also makes it liquidy. So when you add the flaxseed and the almonds, it makes it thicker. So you can cut squares, and you put it in the fridge and then overnight, and then you cut squares the next day, and then you freeze them. If it's too moist and you can't cut the squares, you can still just slop it onto some foil and throw it in the freezer. The next day they're going to be hard, the foil is going to stick, but if you run it under water real quick, the foil comes right off and you don't lose anything. You pop them in your mouth, they taste good. It's oatmeal with marijuana. But you know what? I had some oil. I was buying these cartridges for $30. I had some oil left in my cabinet that I didn't know. And I looked at it yesterday and I opened it up and I smelled it. And it smelled pretty raunchy. Just coconut oil and weed. So I didn't feel like eating it. I put it in the cartridge and I've been smoking it. And it's getting me wasted. So, just for your own knowledge, you can save a lot of money by doing that. Cook it up. You only need an eighth. Cook it up. Let it cool. If the water evaporates, you can let it sit out overnight. The water will evaporate, and you'll have just the oil. Stick it in a pipe or a cartridge that they sell in the stores where it's legal, and vape it. It's just coconut oil and marijuana. Can't hurt your lungs, and it gets you high. Very high. Especially if you let it sit like I did. Boy, I'll tell you. I can probably fill this up at least 3 more times now. Save $90. Just take it and screw it on to the pen deal. Screw it on. And then you won't be able to see the smoke come out. It's vapor. That's all you need to do. It's vapor. It's not smoke. You can't see it. This is getting me wasted. And I made it myself with just an eighth of an ounce of weed. And I can fill this thing up at least 3 more times. Unbelievable. Marijuana is legal in Nevada. You know why? Because it kills pain. I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm taking pain pills, and they're not working. Marijuana kills pain. It's got CBD in it. They sell CBD cream, but it's very expensive. If I can make my own oil, and this takes away the pain, then I'm just going to smoke it. Instead of eating it, I was eating it. But this is a lot easier, and it'll last longer. I mean, you can eat it, put it in your food. It's just coconut oil with marijuana in it. Actually, I did eat some yesterday. It tasted pretty raunchy, but it got me wasted. Anyway, I slept real good last night. Got up at 3:30 in the morning. Probably, I think I went to sleep around 9. I don't remember. All I know is I was very high. Very high. I was smoking it, and I ate some. But today I didn't eat any. And I'm very high. So, it's very relaxed. Very relaxed. That's the way to be when you're unemployed and home all day. Turn on some Jethro Tull, play symphony music, and I can watch some TV. Let's see, Friends is on now. Anyway, been talking for a long time. Filling your head up with some good information. Teaching you how to save money. Stay mellow. God, this sweet is so good. And I made it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I have a syringe with oil in it. CO2 extracted oil. I paid $30 for. And it's a syringe. I stick it in the cartridge and fill it up again. But I got my own oil. It's getting me wasted. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh. Have a good day.